Good morning, this is Doug from Vermont Hoyas, and I'm here to show you how to build a propagation box. These boxes are very handy for not only starting your Hoyas from cuttings, but also if you have a sick plant and you need to start it over again, or a plant that's just ailing and not doing that well, this high humidity grow box will bring it back from the brink many times. So basically you're going to look for one of these Sterilite containers, which are available in so many different stores, the box stores, Walmart, Home Depot, that you want to look for a clear box. So you're just going to pick up one of those, then you're going to go to also to Home Depot or Lowe's, and you're going to go to the lighting department and you're going to look for this stuff called egg crate. It's available in 2x4 sheets, and you're going to cut a piece of this to go in the bottom of your container. Now the easiest way to cut this stuff I found is to use a hot knife and heat it with a torch. You heat your knife until it's red hot on the end, and then you can cut through those little squares pretty easily. Try to do this without setting the house on fire. I'll show you how it will cut. Just like that. Cuts like butter. Okay, so then once you have your egg crate for there, there's another thing that you can do to keep the extremely high humidity levels in here. You can get these PVC couplings, throw a few of those things in the bottom, and it will keep your egg crate up above the water level, and then your plants will be on top of that, so your plants aren't sitting in water, and it will keep it beautiful. Now the last thing you have to do to make this egg crate complete is you have to take the top and you have to melt a number of holes in there for some ventilation. Now I do that with a screwdriver. This happens to be a square-headed screwdriver, but you can use a Phillips, which will work equally as well. You heat that up again with your torch. You get it good and hot, and then you're going to melt holes in there. Probably you can melt anywhere from 6 to 12 depending on how much ventilation you want in your propagation box. Turn the torch off. And then you're going to see here that I can take that and press it on there onto the plastic, and it melts a beautiful hole in there with a nice little rim. Now I tried to do this before with a drill, and I found that it will crack your top all to pieces. So it works far better to melt a hole in the plastic, and you may want to do it outside so you're not breathing all of these toxic fumes. I would probably recommend that. So that's it, and when I come back I'm going to show you what these things look like with full of plants. Oh, and another thing I want to say, to make your propagation box complete, you need one of these little heat mats to go under here. That provides just enough warmth so it's warm and humid in here, and who wouldn't want to grow in those kind of conditions? So when I come back I will show you what these things look like full of plants, and then I'm gonna do a little commercial at the end that I hope you don't mind. Okay, we'll be back shortly. Hi, I'm back. Now that I've shown you how to build a propagation box, I thought I would show you what they look like with plants and what kind of results you can expect. You can see that I've got 3 of these propagation boxes in this tent, and they're sitting on a heat mat underneath a fluorescent light. See if you can see that. And take a look at these plants. Here you can see a bunch of Hoya Lockii. I think there's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 in this propagation box, and they're sitting on the egg crate up above the moisture so that they don't get too wet. And I'm hoping these things root in fairly short order. Over here we got a lot of various miscellaneous plants that I'm starting. These make great hospital boxes if you have a plant that looks like you're losing it. If you can take a fresh cutting, this will usually pull it back from the brink. And what do we got here? We got a whole bunch of Hoya patellas that are rooting, and other various Hoya cuttings. And now that I've shown you that, I've got to throw in a shameless plug for myself. Keeping all these Hoyas and growing them and paying for the electricity to run the lights is not inexpensive. And to help defray some of my costs, I periodically sell a few plants. And you can see in here, this is a plant that I'm asked for more often if I have a cutting than any other plant. That's my famous Hoya Imperialis that flowers incredibly heavily at a very early age. I think it's the best Hoya Imperialis clone that I've ever seen. I've had a number of other ones that you've got to wait years for them to flower, and then they keep dropping buds. But these are vigorous, sturdy Hoya Imperialis. Now these were also started only about 4 weeks ago in those same propagation boxes that I just showed you. And you can see how, I don't know if you can see, and excuse the yellow light, you have a high pressure sodium, so it makes everything look yellow, but look at those roots in there. These things are going to go on sale on eBay under my eBay seller moniker of ERB Tarzan 24 around the 14th or 15th of this month. So just a little less than a week, I'm going to try to sell. There's over 30 of them in here, and I'm hoping that they move pretty quickly because these things grow very fast. And I don't know what I'll do with 30 Imperialis. You can see that some of these things have already started shooting up with new growth. That's brand new growth only after 4 weeks. So that's the kind of growth you can expect from these propagation boxes.